So now we're on meal 3. We're gonna start making our French dips and our Steakhouse Potato Salad. You may have already cooked your potatoes if you did that in meal 2, and if not, the first thing you wanna do is get your potatoes cooked and slightly chilled so you can start making your potato salad. I've got some diced red onion here, I've got some diced celery, I've got some dried dill, mayonnaise, sour cream, and just salt and pepper. Just a real easy, just real basic potato salad. You can add more stuff to it if you like, but I'm gonna keep it really, really simple. Then I'm gonna start prepping the London Broil after that. Next, we're gonna start working on our London Broil. I got this piece of London Broil, $12.38. I'm gonna use a portion of it for the French dips and the rest of it for the steak nachos. One thing you want to remember, anytime you are cutting meat, you always want to slice it against the grain. For nacho night, that steak is going to be diced. But for our steak, for our French dips, we want to cut it so that whenever we go, we're gonna cook off this whole block here, and then we're gonna slice it. And then if you can see that the grains are running this direction, when I go to slice it, I'll be slicing it this way, okay? So I'm gonna cook off this whole piece here. I'm gonna get it marinating. I've got garlic. I've got some herb de Provence left over from our roasted chicken we did a couple bins ago. I've got some thyme. So I'm gonna use these to marinate the piece for the French dip. And then I'll use different spices to marinate the remainder in for the nachos. Piece of meat marinated. Got a super hot skillet here. We're just going to sear it on all sides. I'm just going to cook mine just about a little under medium rare, still rare. And then that way when I slice it, I'm going to put it back into the au jus. And that's going to cook it the rest of the way to about medium. Now, if you want to cook yours more, feel free to cook it however you and your family would like. But we're going to keep ours pretty rare. And like I said, then we'll heat it up a little bit more, and that's going to cook it at least one more temperature while you're rewarming it up. While this is cooking, I'm going to get our au jus working. I'm going to do basically half cup per person. I just used pre-bought beef stock. You can also use a beef base or beef bouillon cubes. I'm just going to add a little bit of the same herbs that I put on the meat. And I'm also going to add a little bit of Worcestershire and a little bit of soy sauce. Let's let that simmer for a bit. We're going to let our meat rest. It needs to rest for about 10 minutes after you take it off so that whenever you start slicing it, you don't lose all the juices out of there. So I've got our meat resting here. I'm going to get our ciabatta rolls ready to go. I'm only going to do 2 ciabatta rolls. So these come in a 6-pack. Where I buy them at for $2.77 for all 6 of these. So, even if you were to have 4, you're still going to have 2 left over. They make really good just a side bread, So if you have 2 left over, you still have a piece of bread for 4 people for another meal. So just pop them in the freezer. Like I said, I'm only going to do 2 though, and I'm probably only going to make 1 sandwich. Just going to cut them in half here. I'm going to get them on a sheet pan, toast them with a little bit of butter on them. I'll cook them for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put mozzarella provolone cheese on them. Sprinkle a little cheese on these, and then they're going to go back in just long enough to melt the cheese. We'll start slicing our steak. I want these to be really nice, thin pieces on this steak. See how nice and rare it still is? All right, so to finish up our French dips, we're just going to drop our meat down in here. You just want your au jus to be at a low simmer. You don't want it to be too hot because you're not trying to boil your beef. Let's pull that out. Set it here just to get off a little bit more juice because we don't want to make our bread soggy. Although we're going to dip it in the au jus later. We don't want it to be soggy right off the bat. Let's take a scoop of this potato salad. Put our bottom bun down. Stack our meat up on that bun. Top bun to go down. And we'll ladle up the au jus. Meal 3. French dips with Steakhouse Potato Salad. Bin 18. Haute Moms Dinner Club.